So, Anzanu Shokwe. Welcome to today's vaccine question and answer session. ING Luke Campbell and I'm joined by Dr. Ryan Warshawski, who is a family physician in Yukon and the Yukon Medical Association president. And Anzanu, we're going to be talking about the Moderna vaccine, which was developed and improved in record time, which is amazing news for Yukoners, Canadians, and people of the world. So it doesn't mean many of us don't have questions about the vaccine. So that's why we're here today. And we want to address some of those issues around the safety of the vaccine. So Dr. Warshawski, Shonithan for being here with us today. And we have some questions for you. How are you today?
Very fine, thank you. Yeah, it's nice to be here.
So some people have some concerns about the speed in which the Moderna vaccine was developed and approved. Are you able to explain to us why it was developed so fast and at such a speedy rate?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. And it's one that I'm getting from a number of my patients. And actually, about a month ago, it was one that a lot of doctors were asking as well. How is this possible that it took 10 years to make, a routine vaccine, and this one is available so quickly? And the CMA actually put out an answer on how that happened, explaining that. So it's a real pleasure to actually be able to sort of share some of this information with people, because once I learned that, it really helped put my mind at ease. I think the first thing to recognize is that this is a new style of vaccine, the mRNA vaccine, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in a separate video, I think. But the actual vaccine production is faster. The actual mechanism of printing it off just results in getting a safe product more quickly, rather than the old traditional way of making a flu vaccine, which I'm not sure if you're aware that actually they grew that in eggs. So if you wanted to make a dose of a vaccine, you needed an egg. So if you wanted 1 million doses of vaccine, you needed 1 million eggs, and it was, quite a procedure to actually get that out. Whereas this new technology just completely bypasses some of those necessities. So that's the first stage of that answer, is that this new technology is just faster. What really took time was doing the research to make sure that it's safe. And one of the major barriers to doing that research is just money. It costs hundreds of millions of dollars to do the research that is necessary to ensure that a medical grade product is brought safely to the market. And so what you saw the American and the Canadian government do was allocate quite literally billions of dollars towards a vaccine, because what they said was, well, if we can make this work, then the economy comes back and the trade-off was worth it for them. And so we had an unprecedented level of investment that allowed the company, while they were doing the research, to actually start making the vaccine. And that's never happened before. And so essentially what happened is, when they were unsure if the Moderna vaccine was working, they were still printing it off and making it and getting ready to go, with the understanding that if the science didn't bear out and if this proved not to work, well, they would throw it in the garbage and the company would not take a loss for that.
One quick follow-up question about that. What kind of egg do they use?
It's just a chicken egg.
That's crazy. Next time you have fried eggs, eh?